AskReddit by Antidelusional24. Do you want kids? Why or why not? No, I tested positive for Huntington's. I'm not passing it on. Or making a family that's gonna have to watch me fall apart in front of them. I've seen what happens. I have no interest in sharing that pain with a wife or kids. Edit, no symptoms yet. I'm only 22, so I figure I still got another 10 years before I gotta worry about it. I am so sorry. My father had HD. I tested negative. I hope you have a very mild case and don't experience symptoms until you are very old. No, I'll be telling them tonight when I get home. Dad, am I adopted? Not yet. We can't find anyone to take you. Reddit doesn't want kids. This is already a known fact. This bloodline ends with me. I guess so. At 9 and 11 it's probably hard to get rid of them now. The little bastards trap you. They're adorable and fun when they're little, and by the time they turn into awful children it's too late to blame SIDS. Nah man. I don't have the patience. I'm not emotionally available enough. I'm selfish and I'm an asshole. I love how people try to call you selfish if you say you don't want kids, but like, yeah, that's why I'd be a bad parent. I love kids so much, but I absolutely could not afford them with my 50k salary. I can barely afford my own life. Thank you for considering that. It is saddening how many people have kids and those kids are put straight into poverty. Nope, physically, mentally, and financially not ready for that, and probably ever will be. People for the most part ignore the financial responsibility of having a kid. I understood that early and didn't have kids until I could provide for them the way I was taken care of. If you can't afford food, clothing, healthcare, USA, entertainment, education, daycare, it will be extremely difficult to be a good parent. The stress of not being able to provide will make you a bad parent. And your spouse will constantly remind you of that. Lol. Nope. I'm happy being the rich aunt in the family. Let me know if you have room for another poor nephew. I'm too independent. I like that I can kind of do what I like whenever. I could decide to drive to the coast for the weekend and it's pretty much as easy as getting in the car and going. If I decide to go stargazing at midnight then get up at midday the next day, I don't have to arrange anything. I just can't see myself giving that up. This is what I miss the most. There's no just doing something anymore. I either have to take baby with me, arrange for a sitter, or plan with hubby if he can take baby. I love being a mom and I love my baby. I wouldn't change it, but I miss this. We tried and were told it would never happen. Issues with both of us. So we moved on. The universe has a funny sense of humor sometimes. I'm not confident in my ability to raise decent humans. So I'd rather not. This is why I don't like that the default option is to have kids. It's a massive responsibility that's basically glazed over when people talk about it. So many people just have kids because it seems easier than not having them, even though they don't feel like they would be competent parents. I'm not having kids because I wouldn't make a good parent and I know it, and I'm okay with that because I don't really like kids anyway. But so many people have told me I should just have one, or I need to try it before I knock it. Having kids is not the same thing as trying a new flavor of ice cream. Nope. Kids don't deserve to have a sad mom. No, I can't even afford a place to live. This. Nobody can pay for themselves anymore. How are we supposed to pay for another human? Being the oldest sibling, babysitting my siblings was birth control for me. Same colon plus all the chores of the house on top of that. I felt like I was forced to be a mother while I'm literally only a kid. No, I make 48k and I'm barely getting by. No excuse. My brother-in-law and his wife don't even work and have 6 kids. Everything's going great for the mess. No, I want tacos instead. Not to be one of those parents, but you honestly have no idea what you're missing out on. Sure, it's satisfying to be able to eat tacos whenever you want, but you have to believe me, it's way more satisfying and fulfilling to eat children. Sure, it's hard at times, but they are just so tender and meaty that they are absolutely delicious. No, I don't like kids, and I don't have the patience for them. Same. I visibly wince when I hear the sounds they make. No, because I don't want to have kids. I always tell people it's not that I don't want kids, it's that I've never wanted kids. Those are two vastly different things. I don't want a hamburger because I just ate lunch and am full. I've never wanted to cut my fingers off because it simply never occurred to me that is something I should do. No, even if this world was a peaceful utopia, parenthood is too stressful for me to take on. Also, childbirth, pregnancy seem horrendous. I also was always freaked out by the entire process of being pregnant and giving birth. All of it just seemed so gross and uncomfortable, and then extremely painful, and then just sleepless nights, responsibility and sacrifice after. I got pregnant once and the morning sickness wasn't just in the morning, it was constant, non-stop, all the time, starting at about week 4 and going until a few days after the abortion in week 7. So months of constant nausea, then something inside you squishing all your organs and pressing on your bladder, getting heavier and heavier and probably causing all sorts of lower back, leg and foot pain, culminating in being ripped open by a screaming creature that then cries all night for the next 6-12 months and needs constant attention for at least 6-7 years. No thanks. Edit. Sorry for my grim outlook on the world, I didn't realize it would cause so much discourse. I'm so glad you guys can see all the greats and positives amidst the negatives. But I will say, it is my reasoning, and it doesn't have to be yours. Not even a little bit. I have never experienced baby fever. I have never looked at a newborn and said AWW so cute, I can't wait to have one of my own or anything like that. I much prefer my lifestyle as it is, and I don't need to go through the physical, mental, emotional stress of pregnancy and then raise a child for the rest of my life. With the state of the world how it is, I wouldn't want to bring a child into it only to see them struggle and suffer. It's so easy to promise a bright future, but to actually fulfill that promise is incredibly difficult. Same. I am always so confused by the baby fever thing, just because it's not something I've ever experienced. I have lots of nieces and nephews and I have loved meeting them for the first time, but never was I like my turn. No parent that I've met has sold the idea to me. When people say I should have some kids, I feel as if they want someone to commiserate with. You really asking Redditors that? It's one of Reddit's weekly repeated topics. No, cause if there is even a minute chance that the kid grows up with chronic loneliness like me, wishing every day to be his last, then I will never be able to forgive myself. No, I'm very selfish with my time and wouldn't be present enough. Or I would break down, give all my time to be a parent but slowly grow to hate my life. This is the one. I think I could practically do it, but I'd be a shell of a person. I chose to not have that life. I already have them. The first one wasn't really a choice, but I'll be honest, despite all the pain, the love more than makes it up. Jesus Christ, I had to really scroll down to find a positive comment in favor of kids. But even then they weren't a choice to begin with. I have a kid and I love her like I have never loved anything in my life. That being said, if you are on the fence about having children, then wait to do it until you are sure. It will give you grey hair faster than a minnow can swim out of a dipper. If you aren't fully invested, you can begin to grow resentful, and that is not fair to the kid. Are you a guy? I'm pretty sure I'll never feel totally ready for anything, and I definitely shouldn't wait for that feeling or it'll never happen. Proposing was also a leap of faith for me, and being married really wasn't that scary. Kids will definitely be life-changing, but we have money and the timing makes sense. Even if I'm afraid of how it'll impact my free time and independence, I know I want them and it'll be okay. Several reasons I don't particularly want them. 1. I have some health issues with a genetic component that I don't particularly want to pass on. 2. My mother was a waking nightmare, and I refuse to even chance that I pull some of the shit she did with my own children. 3. World has a lot of pain to go through as a direct result of climate change before things start to get better. I don't want to willingly subject others to that experience. It was exhausting to repeatedly hear I want to be the mother I didn't have from people, many of whom most certainly were not. Nope. I certainly inherited some of my mother's shitty traits and I'm very selfish with my time. I didn't want to resent a little person who didn't ask to be my kid for the rest of my life. I have, however, always been simpatico with my dogs. Nope, I like being alone. Not in this economy. No money or energy for that. No, 45, married. Many reasons others have listed. So glad now I just see so many women my age walking around like zombies due to fatigue, being taken advantage of by their lazy husbands who have fallen back into stereotypical gender roles even though their wife works full time. As a nurse, believe me, not all kids look after you in your old age. The short end of the stick women get is so damn obvious I don't know how they get any of us to sign up for that shit. Signed, a woman. Yes, I agree with what most of this comment section is saying about the world being shit, so to that end I think introducing one or two decent, well-taught people to it should help. Lovely optimistic attitude. I agree with you. Yep, I have a little girl on the way and super excited. Congrats. We just had our girl 5 days ago and it's pretty awesome. Baby goats are cute and all, but not sure I have the yard for them. Although I would like kids, women go through a lot during pregnancy, delivery, and even postpartum depression. I just would rather not add extra stress. Maybe I'm just not in the right headspace right now, but I am comfortable with just caring for myself right now. I do. I always have. So does my husband. Unfortunately, due to illness, I am unable to have children naturally. We have been discussing adoption for the future and are both very excited about it. Negative, 30M. Been with my girlfriend for a few years and she agrees. We enjoy spending our money on us. The risk of a disability or autism scares me too much. Don't want to take that risk. Deleted. I used to want to have kids, and a small part of me still does, maybe with the right girl. But it kind of seems a lot of important things around the world are going downhill. I know there's some bias in there, because technically we are the most advanced we have ever been. Longevity, comfort, etc. But I've had a doomsday feeling for the past 2 years and it seems to not go away for now. Feels like a bad idea to bring a kid into that. Basically my thoughts. Growing up I thought I'd have kids one day. Not so sure anymore. If I ever change my mind, I'd rather adopt someone who is stuck here anyway rather than create someone and drop them into the destruction of our planet. No, and because I don't want any. I flip back and forward between yes and no. I think I'd enjoy being a mother, but I also think I'd be doing them a disservice bringing them into such a fucked up world. First no answer. I do not want to have kids. This is because I have epilepsy and it has ruined parts of my life. I can't play contact sports. It's caused me to be in a car wreck which took my car insurance and now I can no longer drive. I wanted to join the military but I can't. I've been bullied. I can't swim without supervision. I can't stay up past midnight. Staying up late causes seizures. I have to close my eyes when a strobe light scene comes up in a movie. Due to strobe lights I also can't go to a nightclub or anything else that involves strobe lights. I've spent tons of money on medical bills, etc. I inherited epilepsy from my dad, who inherited it from his dad. So if I have a kid, I can almost guarantee that I would give them epilepsy, and I do not want my child to have to experience all the terrible things that epilepsy has done to me. Expensive. Nope, I have anger issues. I don't have patience. I hate germs and disgusting things about kids, like when they have sticky fingers. I am not emotionally available. I am a bitch. Too expensive. Too annoying to deal with. Like, for example, financially, I also have crazy ass anxiety, so I would not be able to handle anything. When a child cries, it makes me want to yeet myself so bad. There are so many reasons. Lol, I'm just running my mouth right now. But nope, I feel blessed to not have any. Yes. Either through adoption or naturally, I want kids. Vasectomy at 28. I love my kids so much I decided not to have them. Only thing I dream for. I have a huge paternal instinct I want to fulfill. The idea of have a little child and watch them grow up into an adult with all the love they deserve feels just right. I think me and you are the only ones here that want kids, bro, lol. I feel the same way. I think I'd be a good dad, and me and my wife have spent the last few years setting ourselves up to financially stable enough to support a family. Absolutely not. I am not stable enough to handle kids, and honestly, while I don't consider myself an antinatalist, I do see their point. This world is overpopulated and hurtling towards destruction. I wouldn't want to place that on a new generation. No, I enjoy my life being about me. Of course,